I'd say a pretty good one. Doing pretty good up here. Yeah, like you said, it's just one of those days you definitely don't take for granted. I mean, last week it was snowing, or a couple of weeks ago when we were here, it was snowing about this time, and I could be out there in a t-shirt right now, and a lot of people are. So it's definitely one of those days you take it all in before we get the final snowfall, or final first and final snow of the year, and before it sticks a little more. Yeah, but we'll take it. I mean, it's been a beautiful week, and we're going to cap it off with some good football here.
Out at the field, we have teams getting ready. I don't know if introductions are about to get underway, but why don't you set the table a little bit for the International Falls team, how they're doing, how the Agates are doing, and what you expect from both teams?
Yeah, so we got the 1-3 Broncos traveled from I Falls today to take on the Agates. Agates are 3-1, currently riding that three-game win streak we talked about last week. Yeah, I mean the Broncos they've had a couple good games, couple of bad games. They opened their season against Moose Lake Little River, dropped that one 56-6, followed it up with a 12-6 loss to Mesabi East. The Agates will play Mesabi East next week, so this game will give us a little insight to how it's going to be next week, excuse me, when the Agates take on Mesabi East at 5 o'clock next Wednesday, the 11th. We'll be right with you on that one as well. But anyways, yeah, it'll give us a good idea of how that team's going to match up against the Agates. And then we've had two common opponents. The Broncos beat Evelyn for their lone win of the year, 42-0, and then they lost to Virginia last week, 40-0. So, as far as common opponents go, they matched up obviously pretty similar to Evelyn. They both beat them very handedly. And then, Virginia, the Agates played them really, really tough. Beat them by 8 points here at home for their first win of the year. It was a really, really hard-fought football game. And you just see Virginia blew I Falls out of the water last week. So we'll see. And, that's the thing with this year. It's you don't really know what's real and what's not. The Broncos could have had, kids quarantined or what have you for different games. And, Agates haven't had that problem yet, but I've heard teams around the state having those issues. So we'll see, we'll see what kind of game it is. I mean, I've heard that they've been having a pretty good season this year. So we'll see. And like I said, there's a ton of factors that go into a season like this. But as far as the season goes, this is the second last game of the year. Just talking to people in the press box earlier today, and playoffs are a very alive conversation. Those sound like it's going to happen this year. If they do, it'll just be sectional playoffs, so no state, but you can still go all the way through section like normal. And this game has a big implication on it. I mean, this is always a pretty rivaled game. Important game in 7 AAA sections. So this game will give us a really good picture of what the Agates are going to have in store for the playoffs. And if they can win this game, just from the vibes I heard in the playoff or in the press box here earlier, it sounds like the Agates will have a home playoff game if they can win this one tonight. Yeah, it'd be the Tuesday following next Wednesday, so about 10 days from now. But we actually are going to go to break here. The anthem coming up in just a few seconds. Teams lining up on I Falls on the 40 and the Agates on their own sideline. So we're going to step aside and be right back. You're listening to Agate Football here on KTWH. Thank you, Leo, and we'll talk in about a minute and a half.
to Harbors. My name is Tate.
And you're listening to Agate Football. Will Peterson out at the stadium. Are we ready for a kickoff?
Thanks, Leo, and we're about to get underway here in into Arbors. It's just at the top of the hour, 5 o'clock, and both sides getting ready to start this game. You know, the Agates really want to just keep things rolling here, 3-1 after losing a tough week 1 game against Pine City. Probably a game. Hello? Oh, well, it was there. I was getting a roster probably. Okay.
So sorry for this bump in the road, but we've got football to take over. Take it away, Will Peterson.
Thanks, Leo. Agates are going to receive the opening kickoff here, so they'll get to set the tempo here. Hello? Hello? Leo? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I'm not sure what was going on there. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, that's weird. I didn't change anything. Hello? Yeah, I can hear you right now. I can hear you. Okay. Hello? Leo? Can you hear me now? It's Hello? Yeah. Yeah, hello? 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 I am. So we're back here at 2 hours. Some weird technical difficulties. So sorry for some of you that heard the sound check. Agates going for it on 4th and 1, and it's going to be close. I think they're going to mark them short, and they will. I think the ball carrier ended up across the 45, but they mark it just short of the 45, about the 44, and they're going to give it over to the Broncos. So Agates trying to make some noise there on their first possession, but the Broncos defense is there to shut things down, and they'll take over at the Agates 44. So not exactly what they were trying to do on their first drive, and gave them some pretty good field position to work with. We'll see what this offense has to do for the Broncos. It'll be number 13, the quarterback. He'll pass it out to the flat, trying to get just a quick screen going. He goes to number 34. That's Riley Larson on the catch. Only goes for a couple of yards. And Ben Glowak with the pass. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So 1 yard catch for Larson, and it'll be a handoff up the middle this time from Glowak down across the 40, and tackled to the 38 is the running back, number 45. So it'll be 3rd and 3 coming up for the Broncos. Out of the shotgun, handoff up the middle once again, and he gets hit hard, and that's going to be short of the first down. So 4th and about 1.5, and we'll see what the Broncos decide to do here. They'll try to pin the Agates deeper. They're going to go for it just like the Agates had. So it looks like they're going to go for it. Glowak trying to go for a hard count there. Now looks to the sideline, trying to change up plays. Gets the play from the sideline, goes back, looking towards the center, gets a snap. It's a handoff. It's high. Hands it up the middle. It's number 45 again, plowing down to the 30-yard line. He gets pushed all the way down and picks up a 6-yard run and a first down. And the Broncos move the sticks on their first drive. That's number 45, Bennett Smith, with the carry. 2 receivers left, 1 right for the Broncos. Hand off to Smith once again, and he's down to the 26-yard line. Pick up a 4, and that just simple handoff up the middle for Smith is working here this afternoon so far for the Broncos. They go hurry up to the line. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Running back to the right of Glowak. Glowak takes a snap, drops back to pass. Lefty pass up in the air, and it's caught wide open, number 4, and he's brought down at the 4 by Eli Schlongen. That's about a 22-yard pickup for Ryan Cullen. So it'll be a 1st and 4, another hurry up for the Broncos. Another fake handoff up the middle. Glowak fumbles it. It's all the way back to the 30. Ball's loose. A couple guys fighting for it, and Glowak finally pulls it in at the 26. So kind of go right back where they started. Lost to 22, but this time a 2nd and goal. So really couldn't have happened much better for the Agates. Glowak just kept kicking it all the way back, and now sets up a little more trouble for the Broncos. But the good news is they can just shoot for the end zone and not lose a whole lot here. So see what they do. Passing game obviously working a little better for them this week than it was for Evelyn last week against the Agates. Glowak back out of the shotgun. Going to step back to pass. That's number 15. Floats it up. It's caught, and touchdown, number 12 there in the end zone. That's Tristan Thompson, just caught it over the defensive back for the Agates. Couldn't get his head turned around, was number 10, Kyler Pitkinen, and into the end zone was Tristan Thompson. He got that pass from number 15, not seeing who that is on the roster, as, oh, there it is. It's Cody Jocelyn on the pass. switched out quarterbacks there for that play. Broncos go for 2, can't get it, and that'll keep the score 6-0. 6:32 to go. We'll take a short break and be right back here on KTWH. You're listening to Agate Football.
Support for this game is brought to you in part by Holden Electric, Agate Division. They're a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
Jaws Computer is pleased to help support high school sports on KTWH. They specialize in all things computers, from business support, PC tune-ups, as well as repairs. For more information and complete listing of provided services, you may call 834-5297.
The Willamette Valley Company is proud to help sponsor high school sports broadcasts on KTWH. They are currently hiring in their Two Harbors location for production technicians with competitive wages and benefits. You may call 834-3922 if you're interested in joining their team. And now back to the game. We think we have our connection established. Will Peterson, take it away. The Agates have fallen behind early in the first quarter.
Yeah, thanks, Leo. So Agates not ideally how they wanted to start this one off, as the guy who just threw the touchdown pass off the kick, it's out to the right side. Jacob Keach on the return bounces it across the 35 to the 40 and then pushed out of bounds at the 41. So the Agates will start off with pretty good field position, and just talking to the opposing broadcaster, he said that's the first pass he's ever seen Cody Johnson throw. So not a bad start as he goes 1 for 1 for a 26-yard touchdown pass. And, you know, not sure what happened after that fumble. It was Glowak. Kind of looked like he just went off onto the sideline just kind of sneakily, and all of a sudden Jocelyn was out of the shotgun and just threw up a really nice pass. Nelson under center for the Agates, pitches it over to Gramo. Gramo with the big hole, across to the 45, now to the 50, 45-40, trying to get a stiff arm and pulled down from behind at the 36. So huge run there. Coach Nelson demanding a flag, not going to get it. Looked like it was going to be a horse collar, showing the ref where he was tackled, and really not happy there at the 35-yard line, still yelling, hoping he doesn't get a flag himself. Now he'll go to Clark Nelson and hand off the play, but that was a great run there for the Agates. Matson Gramo on the run from right side to left and picked up about 30 yards. Huge hold there for Gramo. Safety just was able to come across and get him. Nelson under center, this time they'll go the other side. Schlongen with a nice hole, and he gets tripped up at the ankles, trying to cut up down at the 28-yard line. Pickup of 3 for Schlongen. It's a little bit opposite for the Agates today. Usually you see Schlongen with those big runs, and then they'll kind of counter it with the other side, but this time Gramo with a huge hole just able to explode right through it and almost got free, but as mentioned, got pulled down from the back on a controversial, well, I shouldn't say controversial call, but Nelson wanted that call and got a little animated there on the side. But rightfully so here. Nelson drops back to pass, floats it off to the flat. Caught Alec Chernus. Chernus turning it up to the 25. Now 2 flags in, 1 during the play, 1 well after. Was able to get down to the 24, we'll call it. Just a short pickup of 4 yards, and we'll see what the flags are. I'm guessing one's going to be for holding in the backfield for the Agates, but the other one, my guess, would be something on the Broncos after the play. First flag, I think they're signaling it's going to back the Agates up, and I think it will because they're talking to the Broncos sideline that only has about 10 reserve players, so a small team here for the Broncos this season. And long conversation going on the other sideline between the official and the Broncos head coach, Seth Edelstad. So on 2nd and 7 turns into a 3rd and 4. We'll see what the penalties have to do. So 2 personal fouls personal foul on the Agates, and then a holding penalty. Broncos accept the holding penalty, and that'll back them up about 10 from the spot of the foul. So it'll be second and about 17, depending on how far they go, and then go out to the 40. So about a second, and we'll call it 19. Out at the 40-yard line, got to get down to the 21. So back them up about 12. Nelson under center. One of the running backs split out wide. They'll go reverse here to Grammo and only picks up about a yard. Actually no gain down at the 40. So 3rd and 19 still for the Agates. Still playing out of a pretty tight offense. Haven't seen the shotgun or that pistol formation much. So we'll see what they want to do here. You know, we've seen them pass a little more out of the pistol. But I think here they're just going to play it a little safe, see if they can get a big hole to open up once again. Nelson breaks the huddle and heads to the line. Agates back in their normal double wing offense. Chernus right behind Nelson. And, yep, Eli Schlongen flinched a little early, didn't know if they saw it, and the side official called it. Thought he might have got away with it. It took him a second to blow the whistle, but he eventually throws the flag there. So it'll back him up 5 more. It'll be 3rd and 24. So we'll see if that changes the play call at all. Maybe just go for a Hail Mary here. You know, Clark Nelson can throw it that far. Just the big question is, do they have enough time in the scheme they run for Nelson to set up and throw that far? So no change in the formation. Nelson under center. And they'll do that crisscross play. Grandma with the big hole to the 40. 35-30. Got to get past one guy, 20. Stiff arm at the 15 down to the 10, and there's that hole. Grandma with a 25-yard run brings them down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Agates. And take that back. I think that was number 20. It's hard to tell when it's dark, but they're thinking it's maybe 28. So that was either Gramo or Sebastian Bark. That was 28. 28, Sebastian Bark on the run. So the sophomore with a huge run on 3rd and forever picks up 35. And I think they tried it again, but no, they tried to go to Alec Chernus up the middle, but huge penetration on the line from the I-Falls Broncos, and that breaks up that run. So Chernus really just had no effect on that play. The line just got blown up, so he went back 1. And the Agates trail by 6 with 2:37 to go here in the opening quarter. They actually are 2nd and 11. They got to get out to the half-yard line to get a fresh set of downs. And then, you know, so it's basically if they get to the goal line but don't score, they can get a fresh set of downs. And Sebastian Bark with another run, pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd and 9. Clark Nelson getting the play from the sideline. We'll see what they decide to do here. Right now for the Agates, it's either been boom or bust. Short, backwards, or about 30 yards. So we'll see what they can do here. My guess is 4-down territory. I don't know if they bring out the kicker in this situation. It's been hit or miss from that aspect of the game. Nelson under center. Puts a man in motion. That's Schlongen. Into the I formation. Fumble. But the play was whistled dead before, and they'll get him on a false start. So that'll back him up. 3rd and 14, but basically 3rd and goal from the 14. With 1:38 to go, Agates trying to get some points on the boards, but they keep kicking themselves in the foot. They've gotten out of it a couple times, but, you know, it's just not a – don't want to keep going backwards and expect success. So, especially on 3rd down. So 3rd and 14, we'll see what they draw up here. Running backs for the Agates, Chernis, Bark, and Schlongen. Jacob Keach out of the, and another false start here, and that it's going to back him up again. Number 58 came across the line after, though, and just kind of hit someone just to hit him. Didn't know if a flag would come out for that, but we play on, only foul there on the Agates. So it's 3rd and now 19 from the 19. Schlongen got called on that false start, and you can tell Coach Nelson's not happy over there. Was a 3rd and 9, 2 false starts, backs him up 10 yards. We'll see what they do here, maybe throw one in the end zone. Like I said, Nelson can do it. And another flag flies from the end zone, back judge, and it's a delay of game. Not sure where that comes from. That was pretty quick, but another 5 yards backwards, and Agates just keep on drawing those flags. It's 3 in a row for the Agates. See if they can make them pay here. Puts a man in motion. It's Schlongen. Schlongen up the middle, trying to find any ground, and gets just about 3. Broncos trying to strip the ball and make it about a gain of 4 as he gets down to the 20. And that should do it for the first quarter. We're at 16 seconds and counting. Agates probably going to let this one roll down and talk about things some more. And actually they give him a pretty bad spot back at the 22, so only a pickup of 2 there for Schlongen. And yeah, 3, 2, and 1. We'll take a quarter break. The Agates keep shooting themselves in the foot here at Halsted Field. So we'll see if things change. We got a 4th and 22 coming up when we return. Agates trail 6-0.
6-0.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They are open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Serving a full menu and breakfast is available all day. Located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.
Support for Agate football coverage comes from Harbor Insurance, a local insurance agent covering business, individuals, auto, home, and liability since 1935. Harbor Insurance is located at 613 First Avenue in Two Harbors, available by phone at 834-2114.
Agate football is supported in part by the local guys, Maher Trucking. They offer commercial and residential garbage pickup as well as hauling. For more details and to schedule service, you may call 834-4810. Go Agates!
It's time for second quarter action as the Agates try to get on the board against the International Falls Broncos. Let's go back to Will Peterson.
Thanks, Leo. Yeah, big 4th down coming. It's been a weird first quarter. Lots of penalties, lots of going backwards, but also big plays for both sides. So definitely touchdown here is not out of the question. It just depends on what offense shows up here. They've either had runs of 30 or more, or penalties and negative runs and short runs. And yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen them try a pass yet tonight. Don't know if they will in this situation, but we know they tend to take a few more shots than they normally would with Nelson behind center. He's attempted 11 passes in his first 2 games as the quarterback. Nelson's going to pass here, floats it up, looking for the end zone. Schlongen open, touchdown! 22-yard connection from Clark Nelson to Eli Schlongen. That knots things up at 6 apiece. And just on cue, Clark floats one up right at the goal line, and Schlongen in great position jumps up and pretty much bullies that ball away from the defender, and we're tied 6-6 here, 6 seconds in to quarter number 2. So big play there for the Agates. Good touch there by Clark Nelson just to get it in the hands of Schlongen, and Caleb Waldron comes on to kick. And like I said, it's either been hit or miss here for the kicking game. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and that one is good, right down the middle, and the Agates take a 7-6 lead. So just like that, all the penalties, all the worry goes away as the Agates look to hold this lead when we come back.
Nest Bait and Tackle is proud to support Agate football broadcasts. They feature fishing lures and tackle made by local artists. Open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday through Friday and 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Their phone number is 834-0743.
Lou's Fish House wishes the Agates good luck. They feature smoked fish, smoked shrimp, cheeses, and hard-scooped ice cream. Visit them online at lousfishhouse.com or in person at 1319 Highway 61 in Two Harbors, or give them a call at 834-5254.
Support for this broadcast is brought to you in part by Holden Electric, Agate Division. They are a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information. Go Agates!
Well, the second quarter is barely underway, and the Agates come up with the 6 points and the PAT. So back for more second quarter action, Will Peterson at Halsted Field.
Thanks, Leo. Well, we're 12:06 into this game, and it's one of the weirder games I've seen broadcasting Agate games, and yeah, a lot of penalties, but a lot of big plays, and I think it's going to be a pretty good game the rest of the way as the Agates kick it off. It's picked up by the lineman, number 78, and he's struggling to find footing and gets brought down. He ran straight east and west across the 30-yard line, and they'll mark him down there. I think he got up to about the 33, but knee was down when picking up that ball. So Broncos have 70 to go here to score. Last time it was only 45, and they punched it in pretty easily. So we'll see what the Agates can do on this defensive stand. Now bringing out two safeties to play a little deeper. So respecting the pass a little more is Two Harbors. 1st and 10 from the 30. Out of the shotgun, hands it off up the middle. Got a little bit of room, but just getting tripped up by the ankles is number 24, Christensen, Diego Christensen on the run. He had a little bit of a hole, but just got his feet grabbed at the last second.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 for Broncos.
It's 5-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 here for the Broncos. Another handoff up the middle. Christensen going right, getting about 10 yards and being wrapped up by Chernus down at the 45. So the Broncos just having a lot of success with those draw plays. About a 5-yard shotgun snap, hands it back up the middle, and they get about 5 yards every time, if not more. Glowak back out of the shotgun, two receivers left and right, up the middle again. It's Christensen trying to cut straight to the right as they got pressure in his face, and he was able just to scramble ahead for about 2.5 yards down to the 47.5. And it'll bring up a 2nd and a long 7 here for the Broncos. And they're just beating the heck out of that draw play. This time it'll be Smith in the backfield. See if they float one up. That's what they did last time. They baited the middle, and then threw passes. Smith up the middle, breaks one tackle, breaks another, and down to the other 47. Pick up a 5 there into Agate territory. And that'll bring up a 3rd and short. Another hurry up here for the Broncos. Two receivers left and right. Another handoff up the middle. Smith, he gets wrapped up really early though and gets about 1 yard on the fall. And that'll bring up 4th and a very short 1. So the yard marker right next to that front stick for the Broncos. Call it about 4th and about a foot. We'll see what they do here. Broncos going under center. And they're going to the quarterback sneak. He bounces off the line, has a little bit of room. Ball comes out, and it's the Agates ball. That ball's going the other way. Agates with a nice fumble recovery will flip the field. And a good play there by the Broncos. Kind of thought a quarterback sneak was coming with him going under center, and he got a lot of room, but got a little greedy and got careless with the ball. Drops it at the 32-yard line. Agates there to jump on it, and not much controversy on that pile. 1st and 10 coming from the Agates from their own 33, and that's the momentum shift they needed. You know, just gave up an easy touchdown coming off their first drive. That was not what they wanted, you know, a quick 4 and out, and gave up that easy touchdown. Had a whirlwind of a drive that ended up in 7 points, and now get a turnover in their own territory. So big momentum shift here if they can cash in. Nelson out out of the shotgun, or out of the snap, excuse me. He was going to try to throw. Didn't have anywhere to throw. Everyone was pretty much covered, so he just takes it himself and pretty much picks up about a foot. So 2nd and 10 coming for the Agates. So Nelson with the keeper, scramble, whatever you want to call it, probably a little more of a scramble than anything. And they'll bring it up for a 2nd and 10. Nelson under center. 2 running backs in the wing. They'll go to Schlongen. Schlongen going nowhere, though, as the line got blew up once again. And that's a loss of, well, they'll just call it no gain. So another no gainer here for the Agates. And like I said, they're really keying in on Schlongen here. He has maybe about 10 yards today on about 5 rushes. So we'll see what they decide to do. Bart comes out, Gramo in. So they're splitting duties there on the opposite side of Schlongen, and they both have runs of over 30 tonight. Chernis straight behind Nelson. They go crisscross again. Gramo almost broke it around the outside, but another no gainer, and that brings up 4th and 10. So Graham started the night off with a run of 30 and then now 2 runs of nothing. And Agates are not going to risk it this time, and they bring out the punt team. Looks like Zach Bentler out deep to kick, the freshman, number 23. Plays a lot of defense here for the Agates, a little bit special teams, and he'll now be the new punter. Probably can kick it pretty far, 6'3", 200 pound, if not more, freshman. And here's the snap. That one's good, and he boots this one high into the air. And good bounce for the Agates as that goes out at the opposing 35. So flips the field pretty good there was Bentler for the Agates. So the Broncos will take over at their own 35. The Broncos moved the ball pretty well on offense. Just, fumbled it the last time on that quarterback keeper trying to get the 4th and inches. And just really beating the Agates right now with the draw plays. And they're talking about something. Oh, a late flag, and I don't know if it was a legal motion or false start or something. It was that symbol. I don't know why it would have been a false start and called this late, but probably a legal setup. And that'll back the Agates up 5 yards, and now they're going to punt it all over again. So Broncos seeing if they can get better field position. Let's see if Bentler can get a better punt here and maybe make them wish they didn't decline the penalty. So 4th and 15 now. And a low snap this time, but Bentler is still able to get it off, and another good kick. This one more of a liner. It's going to roll, and it's going to roll even further back. So good job on Bentler of making it consistent. That one's down at the 34-yard line by Matson Gramo, and that's actually worse fielding position than the Broncos would have had last time. I think they were going to move it all the way up to the 40s. So good job on the Agates to execute once again. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 34 of I Falls. 7 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. And we'll see how much time the Broncos will leave the Agates for their next drive. Finney. Broncos going for a hard count. Going to switch the play call a little bit. Smith in the backfield to the left of the quarterback. They're going to draw it up the middle again, following some blockers, and then gets tackled down for a gain of about 3. So bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Broncos. And literally right now it's just draw after draw after draw. We haven't seen a pass since the first drive, so we'll see what they want to do, if they're ever going to open it up. My guess would be that they are. Agates drop a safety now and screen out to the near side at the 35, but wrapped up quickly by Gramo, and a bunch of Agates coming to help. No gain, actually going to lose one. And they actually gave him a little more on that draw, so backs him up 1. It'll be 3rd and now 7. It was 2nd and 6. And that was a loss of 1 by number 10, Tucker Heel. Out of the shotgun. Here's a pass right side. It's caught on the far side for about 30 yards, and a flag comes out. Probably going to be a face mask there on the Agates. It was a 30-yard connection from Glowak to Ryan, and put it in a spot where only he could catch it. And this one is probably going to be on the Agates, just considering it came out right after the tackle. And it is they're going to pace it off the Agates' way. So about a 30-yard catch paired with a penalty, and puts the Broncos right in the Agates' red zone at the 17-yard line. So Colin Rain with 52 yards on 2 catches. And Broncos, like I said, moved the ball really well inside the red zone already. Only have the ball for about 1:30. Ball's tipped in the air. It's intercepted. Another turnover for the Agates. I think that one was Bentler. And it is. The freshman tips the ball and catches it on the way down. And Zach Bentler doing it again for the Agates. Big turnover there for 2 Harbors. After that big play and the penalty, puts the Agates right back in control on their own 26-yard line. And good ball awareness by the Agates. Actually had about 3 guys looking up for that, trying to track it after they realized it was tipped. So instead of just kind of wandering around like what's going on, they actually were, looking up and trying to make sure that ball is going to be at least swatted down. So Bentler, being as big as he is, just sticks his hands up and pulls that one in, and pretty much just fell right to the ground, making sure nothing else happened so his offense can go to work. Nelson going to drop back to pass on 1st down. Floats it up to the left side and almost caught. It was in and out of the hands of Eli Schlongen, and good defense there by the Broncos. I think that was number 12 there to break it up. Tristan Thompson, he was the receiver who caught the touchdown pass for the Broncos on the first drive, so doing it on both sides. And Schlongen had it, but Thompson just was there to pretty much wedge his hands between Schlongen's chest and the ball and just kind of stripped it out of there. So good play there. Otherwise, Schlongen, if he stayed on his feet, might have been loose for a huge gain. Nelson back under center, 2nd and 10. Handoff. Goes far side to near side with Schlongen again, I believe. Oh, that is, Schlongen again. 3rd and 7 coming up. Pickup of 3. It's 5 minutes to go here in the half. When we were playing in daylight, it's a little easier to see the numbers, but now that it's dark so early, that black jersey with the maroon numbering is a lot harder to see for 2 Arbors. This one goes to, I think that either Bark or Graham, whatever one's in right now. And he goes nowhere as the line got pushed back once again. And there is a flag, though. We'll see if that helps the Agates at all. And it will. It's unsportsmanlike on the Broncos, so this should give Agates a fresh set of down. Loss of 3 for Bark. Yep, it is Bark in there. Grandma there on the sideline. And it will bring up 1st and 10 for the Agates. Should anyways. 4:47 to go here in the first half. Agates would be just fine with controlling this ball for the next 4:47 and just letting the clock run out. Obviously wanting to get some points, but if they can keep it out of the Broncos' hands for the half, that will be just fine as well, as the Broncos are going to get it at halftime, so don't want to give them back-to-back possessions. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, puts them up at the 40-yard line, at their own 40-yard line. leading 7-6. Clock starts back up, 4:45 and counting. Nelson back out to the huddle, and let's see what they decide to do here. He's already thrown 3 passes this afternoon. They threw 3 in the game against Evelyn Gilbert, except the difference there is they really didn't need to. They were running the ball really well in that game. Nelson gets it off to Bark. Bark is tackled behind the line for another loss of 1, but excuse me, that was Schlongen. Had really nowhere to go. The defense was right in his face the whole time, so a timeout taken. I don't know if it's it's a ref's timeout. So one of the Broncos down on the field injured, but he gets up right away and is able to walk off the field. So 2nd and 11 coming up for Two Harbors. Schlongen is trying to just get to the outside. He had got the blocks from the other running backs and the pulling linemen, but there's just more Broncos there than they could block. So couldn't get around the outside. It got more than probably should have. It looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss of 3. But he was able to almost get back to the line, so it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 39. Agates moving left to right here in the second quarter, wearing the all-black uniforms. Clark is going to take this himself, pushes through some blockers and down to the 43-yard line, pickup of 4. So bring up a little more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and along 7. Got to get to midfield. Does the fake pitch and just takes it himself behind the lineman. Broncos sporting the all-white jerseys with the purple pants, purple helmets. Got all 11 guys in the box. And Nelson's going to drop back, looking to pass. Gets it off to the flat for Chernis. Chernis plows through 1 tackle, trying to get through the 2nd, and gets shoved out of bounds, and that's a pickup of about 5. It'll be 4th and 3 from their own 47. It's a nice play there by Nelson just to get it off to Chernis. Chernis got pushed out a little late, but they'll play on anyways. It wasn't too late, just thought it was close enough to think a flag might come out, but probably a clean play anyway. 2:45 and counting. Nelson back under center. Gonna go with the crisscross. Schlongen gets the pitch from Bark, and that's enough for the 1st down. He's just across midfield, and that should get the chains moving. And that is a 1st down. They're gonna move the chains. Good play there by the Agates, especially by Schlongen, just to push. I think on the initial carry he had enough for the 1st down, but really churning the feet, didn't want to put that into question at all. So 2:30 to go. Agates get a fresh set, 1st and 10 from midfield. So another crisscross play working for the Agates, except last time it went to Bark for 35. This time just enough for the 1st down. They'll take it either way, though. 2:15 to go. This time it's going to Bark. Right side to left. Cuts up in the middle and down to the 45. So a pickup of 5 for Sebastian Bark. Good carry for him. The last couple he had from that big run was 2 and -3. So good for him to get his feet moving and going forward once again, getting some good blocking from the lineman. Just under 120 seconds to go. 1:45 and counting. Agates not working overly fast, but like I said, probably just want to be kind of cautious. Don't want to give the Broncos a couple chances to air some passes out to the end zone. Nelson puts Schlongen in motion. And Nelson going to take it himself, looking to pass, floats it off, caught, and loss of 2 on the catch, and I think the Broncos are going to take a timeout. Yep, the Broncos are the people taking the timeout. It took a while for them to signal. Loss of 1, they give it on the catch. Not sure who caught that. I think it was Chernis, but we're going to step aside, and we'll be back right after the timeout. Agates have a 3rd and 6 awaiting.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They're open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving a full menu with breakfast available all day. They're located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.
Agate football on KTWH is supported by North Shore Federal Credit Union, providing nonprofit financial services along the entire North Shore with locations in Grand Portage, Grand Marais, Lutzen, Silver Bay, Two Harbors, and Duluth. They're online at northshorefcu.org and also on Facebook. Support for Agate football on KTWH comes from Leroy's Repair. They're located at the end of Recycle Drive, servicing your marine and auto repair needs. You may reach them at 834-0743.
And now we'll get right back at it to see if the Agates pick up this first down. Here is Will Peterson at the stadium.
Hey, let's take a minute to introduce cheerleaders tonight. We have Lily Harlan. We have Kelly Dillon.
Thanks, Leo. About a minute 23 left. Agates with a 3rd and 7. Make it a long 7. Got to get just to the other side of the 40. So we'll see what they decide to do. Been keeping it pretty tight here tonight. Not a lot of that pistol play we saw a lot of last week or the week before. A lot of under center. 2 running back set. This time they go around the edge to Bark. Bark trying to get the edge, but a blocker or unblocked D lineman smelled that play coming and was able to wrap him up at the 49. So loss of 2 for Bark. Broncos going to take another timeout. And so yeah, they're trying to get as much clock as they can here. So it's 4th and 8. Broncos burn their 2nd timeout, and we're going to take one more break here, and we'll be right back. Agate's got a decision to make here with 4th and 9 coming up from midfield.
Bait and Tackle is proud to support Agate football broadcasts. They feature fishing lures and tackle made by local artists. Open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Their phone number is 834-0743.
Support for this broadcast is brought to you in part by Halsted Electric Agate Division. They are a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
The Willamette Valley Company is proud to help sponsor high school sports broadcasts on KTWH. They are currently hiring in their Two Harbors location for production technicians with competitive wages and benefits. You may call 834-3922 if you're interested in joining their team. And the second quarter is running down, and the Agates are facing a decision. We go back to the stadium with Will Peterson.
So 4th and 9, Nelson floats one up and had a man wide open, but overshot Gramo by about 7 yards. I think he just threw it up because he was about to get hit. So the Broncos with 1 timeout left and 71 seconds will get a shot here before the half ends. They get the ball back, so this could be a huge swing in the game for I Falls. We'll see if they can survive this last minute 11. They've been helped with 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers the last 2 Broncos drives, but the Broncos have moved the ball really well, and actually the Agates are going to take a timeout. Leo, do you want to go back to the station or just keep it here? All right, so yep, we'll be back shortly with another timeout coming on the field.
Support for Agate football coverage comes from Harbor Insurance, a local insurance agent covering business, individual, auto, home, life, and liability since 1935. Harbor Insurance is located at 613 First Avenue in Two Harbors and is available by phone at 218-834-2114.
In-kind support for football on KTWH comes from the North Shore Journal, Lake County's only locally owned legal newspaper serving the entire North Shore with news, events, and information. Delivered weekly to mailboxes in Cook and Lake County. They may be reached at northshorejournal.com. And now back to the stadium with Will Peterson for Agate football.
So about a minute 11 to go with 2 back-to-back timeouts. The teams should know what's going on here. Broncos out of the shotgun once again. Glowak to pass. It's short. Is that picked off? It is. Agates with another turnover, and they got 2 timeouts to use. The Broncos turn it over for a 3rd time in a row. Fumble and then 2 picks. Not sure who got that one. it was out of the hands of the Broncos and right into the chest of one of the Agate defenders. So they'll take the ball over at the Broncos 48. We'll see if they try to take a couple shots here. Short field, you know, maybe they can run the clock down a little bit and then just take a couple throws, because as we saw in the last play, Nelson can really throw it. That one was about 30 yards. Obviously overthrew the receiver, but he can get it down there, and they have timeouts to play with. So we'll see what they can do. First play, it's going to be to Schlongen, far side, near side. Gets tackled somewhere in the middle for a pickup of 6. And the clock's going to continue to run. No urgency here yet. Nelson, though, getting the play to Nelson quicker. And now into 45 seconds and counting. Nelson with another handoff, this time to Schlongen, and the Agates are going to take a timeout. So short pickup by Eli Schlongen, they keep moving the chains, so it's about a pickup of 3. And actually Granville this time. And the Agates going to take another timeout, so we'll take one more break, and we'll be right back.
Lou's Fish House is proud to sponsor football on KTWH. They feature smoked fish, smoked shrimp, cheeses, and hard-scooped ice cream. Visit them online at lousfishhouse.com or in person at 1319 Highway 61 in Two Harbors, or give them a call at 834-5254. North Shore Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Agate football on KTWH, providing nonprofit financial services along the entire North Shore with locations in Grand Portage, Grand Marais, Lutsen, Silver Bay, Two Harbors, and Duluth. They're online at northshorefcu.org and also on Facebook. Support for this broadcast is brought to you in part by Holden Electric Agate Division. They are a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
Back we go for Agate football to Will Peterson.
Thanks, Leo. So right out of the timeout, Agate's going to pass the ball, but flag comes out, stopping the play, and it's encroachment by the defense. So Agate's going to get a free 5 yards and a free first down. Going to move them up to the 35. So they started the clock with the last play, so they got to reset the clock. Gives them an extra about 2.5 seconds, gets them to 31-3. And the Agates with one timeout and about 35 yards to go gets a free set of downs. So now they can really air it out instead of making sure they don't turn the ball over. First and 10 from the Broncos 35. Nelson under center, double wing offense behind him. Gramo and Schlongen the running back. They're going to pass. Nelson floats it up left side, looking for Schlongen. Little underthrown, just can't catch it. It bobs out of the hands, but the flag comes, and I think it's going to be pass interference on the defense. It was number 12 Thompson on the defense, but he didn't have his head turned around, and he was just hitting Schlongen, trying to get his hands up to block the ball. But the big difference between pass interference and playing the ball is your head turned around, and he basically was just running right into Schlongen and stopping his momentum. So, you know, that's the thing. If you turn your head around to look at the ball, you're going to get away with a few more calls. But if your head's if you're looking right at the receiver, you're usually not going to get any calls in your favor. So really got to turn that head around to get away with some stuff as a pass defender. That'll give the Agates 15 yards. They're on the 20. Nelson back under center. Crisscross here, goes to Gramo. Gramo tried to break it to the outside, trying to get to the sideline. Ball comes out, but he was already down. Clock's going to run. Clock's going to run, but they call a timeout. The Agates do at 17 seconds. Gramo is busting hard to the sideline, but just got wrapped up about a yard short of the sideline. So Agates burned their last one with 17 seconds to go. That'll bring up about a 2nd and 9. Grandma was able to get just one. And this should be our final break here from the field. We'll send it back to Leo and come back with the last 17 seconds of the quarter.
We'll take a short break now. Just two messages, Will, and we'll be back.
Agate football is supported in part by the local guys, Mar Trucking. They offer commercial and residential garbage pickup as well as hauling. For more details and to schedule service, you may call 834-4810. Go Agates!
Support for Agate football on KTWH comes from Leroy's Repair. They're located at the end of Recycle Drive, servicing your marine and auto repair needs. You may reach them at 834-0743.
You're listening to KTWH-LP 99.5 FM, Two Harbors, Minnesota. Agate football, back to Will Peterson.
Thank you, Leo. And just as we come back, the Agates break the sideline huddle and head to the line of scrimmage. It's 17 seconds to go. Agates lead 1, so we'll see if they try to take a few shots or how conservative they want to be here. No timeouts left, so if they run it, probably the last play unless they hustle. Schlongen gonna get the pitch. Let's see if it's a pass. It is. Schlongen throws it to Keach, and that's just a 5-yard connection. They gotta go quick. 9 seconds and counting. You gotta get to the line. Let's see if they just throw something together. 3 seconds, 2, and they're not going to get it off. That's going to be end of the quarter. And that'll be the end of the quarter. They did get the snap down, but it was just with about a quarter of a second left. So that'll do it. Agates defense coming out strong. That's the story of the game. The Broncos offense really moving the ball. Probably the better offense so far. They're just moving it a little better, getting bigger plays and bigger averages, but the defense for the Agates has really capitalized. 3 turnovers, 1 fumble, and 2 interceptions, and the Agates, and that's the reason the Agates lead here. They lead by 1 after 24 minutes of play. The Broncos will get the ball back, and we'll see if that Agate defense can stand tall once again. You're listening to Agate football on KTWH 99.5, and we will return. Let's see, Leo, right about I'm thinking, I'm trying to do math. I'm not doing well right now. About 6:10.
I have 5:57, Will,
yep.
to sync.
So about
synchronize.
13 minutes.
So about 13 minutes.
13 minutes from now, we'll be back with more Agate football. Thanks, Will. We'll talk about second half adjustments when we get you back. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And as Will said, we are KTWH in Two Harbors, the home of Agate High School football and Agate sports for the winter. When there are Agate sports for the winter, and we thank everyone for making it possible to bring you Agate football, and that especially includes the Lake Superior School District. Thanks to their staff, and especially Two Harbors High School Activities Director Scott Ross, as well as the Agate Booster Club for continuing support of sports broadcasts on KTWH. And we thank our longtime sports anchor, you heard him right there, Will Peterson. And of course, you, the Agate fans everywhere, listening online or viewing the audio stream now for home games. And we appreciate the support from the Two Harbors Area Fund of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation for their vital and timely support of this station, KTWH LP 99.5 FM, Two Harbors, Minnesota. Community radio with a lake view.
Programming on KTWH brings information on COVID-19 pandemic to impacted individuals and the businesses in our area. These efforts are funded in part by the Two Harbors COVID-19 Response Fund of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. KTWH is committed to continuing to provide relevant information on your health and the public response to the pandemic with support from listeners and our organizational funders.
Judy's Cafe is pleased pleased to support local football on KTWH. They are open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Serving a full menu and breakfast is available all day. Located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.
And at just a moment before 6 o'clock, we're going to take a look at our area weather. And you'd think that would be pretty easy to do. And yes, indeed, it includes an incredible current temperature. I have to refresh to believe it. 67 degrees in uptown Two Harbors, 64 out in Alden Township. And I think we've reached our max for the day, of course, at 6 p.m. with the sun already down. We've gone past our daytime high and are heading towards our low overnight of 47 degrees under partly cloudy skies early and mostly cloudy skies as the night progresses. That low of 47 is pretty balmy for this time of year. And tomorrow, a little more mild temperature, 57 degrees for a high with a 20% chance of precipitation under cloudy skies, and we'll have a light southeast wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking for a high, we're looking for a low temperature to go down to 48 degrees under cloudy skies, and light breezes overnight, and we're looking as we speak to give you a little bit of a heads up for how the weekend will progress. On Sunday, we'll be back up to a high of 58 before we cool off with rain on Monday as a cold front comes in. Monday could be significant rainfall, and then the bottom drops out on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday as we have highs only in the 30s. But it is deer hunting season. It is going into the second week of November. No surprise there with the temperature moderating. Hope you have had a chance to enjoy the incredible weather this week.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, there are steps we all can take to help protect ourselves and others in the community. Wash your hands, cover your cough, maintain 6 feet of physical distance, wear a mask in public places, avoid large gatherings, and stay home if you're sick or if you've had close contact of less than 6 feet for at least 15 minutes with someone who has COVID-19. This message is brought to you by Lake County Health and Human Services and KTWH, Two Harbors Community Radio.
And that message about COVID-19 and doubling down on our prevention of the spread is imperative to pay attention to right now, folks. No lectures from me, but you should know we have had 10 new cases reported in the last 24 hours in Lake County as the state of Minnesota set an all-time record for the number of cases in a day at 5,500, over a 35% increase over the previous record just the day before. And Lake County has had over 30 cases in a 1-week period, and we can help protect each other by paying attention to distance, mask wearing, and watching who we're with for how long. So you know the drill, and I hope we will get through this together. We will with your cooperation.
Do you need help with housing costs or utility payments due to COVID-19? If you are at 300% or below the federal poverty guidelines and a Minnesota resident, help is available for mortgage payments, rent payments, and lot payments. Call 211 or 1-800-543-7709 or visit the website 211unitedway.org for more information.
For everyone who would like to hear a message of Christian inspiration at home during this COVID-19 pandemic, tune in to KTWH on Sunday morning at 8:30. As a rotating series of hosts, ministers from our Two Harbors area churches offer devotions and inspirational messages to all. You can hear it at 99.5 FM or online at ktwh.org.
Support for this game is brought to you in part by Holden Electric, Agate Division. They're a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
Harbors Community Radio continues to bring you the best radio we know how as the pandemic rolls into our long indoor season. KTWH will keep bringing you relevant, timely information, local news and culture, and a great menu of music from all around and right here on the North Shore. You can help keep our radio train on the right track. A donation of any amount you can afford will add today to the success of our Fall Fund Drive and help us keep on keeping on in our 6th year on the air and beyond. Go to ktwh.org and click the donate button at the top of the homepage to see how you can help keep local radio radioactive. Thanks again for your support.
Tune in Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 a.m. on KTWH for Saturday Morning Mix, a collection of interviews and features from the past week's ground control morning shows, along with other seasonal and topical features interspersed with musical favorites of the show's rotating hosts.
Along with the support of our listeners, KTWH appreciates the support from the following area funders: the Lloyd K. Johnson Foundation, the Two Harbors Area Fund and the LeBounty Family Fund of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation, the Blandon Foundation, the Northland Foundation, Cooperative Light and Power's Roundup Program, and CN Railroad's Retired Employee Grant Program.
Jaws Computer is pleased to help support high school sports on KTWH. They specialize in all things computers, from business support, PC tune-ups, as well as repairs. For more information and complete listing of provided services, you may call 834-5297.
The Willamette Valley Company is proud to help sponsor high school sports broadcasts on KTWH. They are currently hiring in their Two Harbors location for production technicians with competitive wages and benefits. You may call 834-3922 if you're interested in joining their team. Hate to cut in. Jim Madison from Knife River there on the solo guitar. It's time to go back for a second half Agate football action. Will's out at the stadium. Will, we had a very adventurous first half. What are you looking forward to in this half? Can the Agates sustain longer drives and capitalize on turnovers? I guess I just leave it to you. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely an entertaining first half. You know, I mean, a lot of different things. You know, nothing unusual, just a little more unusual how much those things were happening. A lot of penalties, a lot of big plays, a lot of turnovers. Agates haven't turned the ball over yet. That's the big key here. They're only up one. Offense hasn't been super dominant, but they're chewing clock and they're leading, and that's what this offense is designed to do. High Falls, on the other hand, big plays, really chunking up the yards. They just can't seem to hold on to the ball. 2 picks and a fumble. So, you know, that's the story. You know, see if the Agates can keep playing good defense and hold on to this lead and chew clock while they're at it. And that's, you know, that's what this offense is designed around. That's what they do. You know, they try to get a lead and they just try to hold on. You know, they're obviously going to go for as many points as they can, but, you know, if they stop the clock at the same time, then they're definitely executing. So, yeah, we'll see what the last 24 bring, and yeah, it should be an exciting finish here at Halsted Field. 7-6 our score as the Agates just about to kick off here.
All right, Will, we'll see if the Agates are kicking off, so we'll see what I-Falls does and then whether the Agates can convert when they get the ball back. So take it away.
Yeah, onside kick here. Let's see if the Agates can get it. The ball was loose and they just couldn't hold on. The ball, it was there for them. They just overran the ball. You know, they had a couple guys shooting for the 45 and the ball stayed at the 50. So big missed opportunity there for the Agates. Could have, like we talked about, had a big swing of momentum. Kind of had the feeling that might happen.
But with playing, you know, you got to take that risk sometimes. Broncos definitely weren't ready for it. They only had one guy about where the ball was. So, you know, big missed opportunity for the Agates. 1st and 10 for the Broncos, 2 receivers left and right. Draw play up the middle once again. And that's going to go nowhere is Smith. Number 24. That's Christensen. Gain of nothing. And good job by the Agates defense shutting down that draw because that's what killed them here early in the game. You know, big 5-yard or more plays on that draw play. This time it goes for 0. Same formation here for the Broncos. Only have gone away from it one other time. This time it's a draw play up the middle and going maybe a yard, if that. They'll give them about a half a yard. Is Glowak, the quarterback, going in on the keeper. And Broncos kind of going away from their offense just a little bit here and not working. So shotgun formation once again. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Running back is Christensen, to the right of Glowak. Here's the snap, drop back on the pass. Lefty throwing here, floats it up left side into double coverage. It's picked! Another one here for the Agates, and that completes the hat trick. Slung down the right side and gets pushed out at the 40. Another big interception here for the Agates, and another turnover. And we talked about that about 2 minutes ago. Schlongen on the interception, and you know, that's the key of the game. Agates just got to keep turning the ball over, and not a bad pass there by Glowak, but the safety was playing deep there and just ran over Schlongen, jumping up and cutting off that pass and catching that perfectly, and that's just, you know, the story of this game. And Schlongen played that as well as you can as a safety, baited it into making it look like single coverage, and then when that ball was up in the air for so long, had a ton of time to run over and get it. Here's the pitch for the Agates. Crossing the 50, has some room, and gets tackled at the Broncos 48-yard line. That's a pickup of 14 by Matson Gramwell, the junior, back in there for the Agates, and picks up a huge play, and that's what they're looking for. Big swing of momentum, and that's what the Agates offense has been missing. A little bit of swagger, and they're finally starting to get it here. You know, they've been playing kind of tight, trying not to make mistakes, and obviously you want to play that way, but you got to play with a little confidence here too. That's what they're getting here right now. This time the other side is Schlongen. Schlongen going across, following his blockers. 45-40, wrapped up and tackled at the 37. That's a pickup of, we'll call it 11. Long 11, short 12, however you want to be it. It's a first down for the Agates. So 2 big plays to start the half for the Agates, who lead by 1. That's a pickup of 11, makes it 25 yards on 2 rushes here in the opening drive for the Agates of the 3rd quarter. 10 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. This time it's going to go Schlongen again. Or excuse me, Grammo, I believe. Grammo gets thrown down by the jersey, and Grammo picks up 6, and that'll bring up 2nd and 4. So the Agates offense really clicking here so far. 3 plays into the quarter, and that brings them down to the 30-yard line. So yeah, like I said, the biggest difference here is that the Agates are just playing with some buzz. You know, you can hear that offense up here in the press box. You didn't hear it all game. You can hear the players actually, you know, when they make a nice play, you hear them get a little excited, and just didn't have that in quarter number 1. Half number 1, I mean. Nelson on the keeper, rolls right, and trying to just push forward. Keeps pushing forward. He's loose. 10, 5, touchdown. Quarterback keeper goes for 31 yards, and Clark Nelson looked like it was going to be a 3-yard run and prances his way into the end zone, and the Agates take a 13-6 lead here early in half number 2. and they'll bring out the kicking unit once again. Caleb Waldron, 1 for 1 already on the day, trying to make it 2 for 2 and would make it an 8-point lead. So we'll see what they can do here with the PAT. Even with the miss, it'd keep them up 7, but I-Falls went for 2 on the first touchdown. Line drive kick, that one's hard, had the distance, and it just stayed inside the left upright and drills it through. So the Agates are up by 8, and regardless of what I-Falls does, will at least be tied if they figure out how to score once again. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to KTWH. Agates lead 8-6, or excuse me, by 8, 14-6.
Support for this game is brought to you in part by Holden Electric, Agate Division. They're a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
Support for Agate football on KTWH comes from Leroy's Repair. They're located at the end of Recycle Drive, servicing your marine and auto repair needs. You may reach them at 834-0743.
Agate football is supported in part by the local guys, Maher Trucking. They offer commercial and residential garbage pickup as well as hauling. For more details and to schedule service, you may call 834-4810. Go Agates!
Well, it looks a little different here from last kickoff to this one. Agates went with the onside kick as the Broncos were just anticipating a deep one, which is weird if you watch the film. Agates do a lot of onside or short kicks. This time, I-Falls not chancing anything, and they put 10 guys in the first 5 yards and only 1 deep. So we'll see. I'm guessing the Agates kick it real deep. Maybe Pooch kick it real short, see if they can get to no man's land. It's short once again. Agates can't get there. It goes out of bounds at the 45. So they risked it anyways. You know, they saw the Broncos put 10 in the box, and they just short kicked it anyways, and the Broncos really don't go for it. They just try to wait for a bounce, and Waldron's been doing a really good job of getting those short kicks to bounce in a way that will favor the Agates. They just couldn't get there this time. It bounced right on the sideline at the 45, and no one could grab it and keep it in. So the ball will be placed at midfield, where the Broncos will start with great field position once again. 5 drives on the night, 1 for a touchdown, and the last 4 all resulted in a turnover. 3 straight picks and a fumble right before that one. This one is a handoff up the middle. That's number 34, his first carry of the day. Goes down to the 45, pickup of 5 for Riley Larson. So we'll see if I-Falls can get something going again, because they've just really not done a whole lot in terms of finishing drives. And it goes to Smith once again for a pickup. We'll give it 3 down to the 42. They have big plays and put good drives together, but they just can't finish. They, like I just mentioned, 4 straight turnovers to finish drives. So we'll see what they can put together here. Looks like they're putting things on the ground a lot more to start. That's kind of where they've been pretty good. The only fumble was a quarterback keeper that he was trying to stretch out to be more. Here's a keeper on the option, and going nowhere is the quarterback, Glowak, and he gets hit for no gain. Might have been a loss, but he was able to just stretch forward just enough to get it back to the line of scrimmage. So 4th and 3 now coming up. They actually do give them just a little bit of loss there. So 2 runs and -1 yards for Glowak. Actually, he did have that run of 7, but he fumbled at the end. So 3 runs, 6 yards, and a fumble for Glowak on the ground. Here's a fake handoff up the middle. He keeps it, and he has a lot of room. Across the 40 to the 35. Cuts it back up the middle, 20, 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Glowak on the 4th and 3. Agates didn't respect the keeper that time. They did the time before, and this one burns them. 43 yards for Glowak, and the game is going right back into the Broncos' favor. So Glowak, like I said, just sold the fake really good and hit the edge and cut back up the middle where no one was really playing. So Broncos going to try to tie it up here. 12-14 is the score. Glauc drop pass, back looking to pass, and throws it well in front of the receiver for incomplete pass. So it remains 14-12 our score. Agates get torched for a 42-yard run on the keeper by the quarterback. So quarterbacks trading some touchdowns here in the second quarter, or second half, and we'll take a short break and be right back. Agates lead by 2 here on KTWH.
Support for Agate football coverage comes from Harbor Insurance, a local insurance agent covering business, individuals, auto, home, and liability since 1935. Harbor Insurance is located at 613 First Avenue in Two Harbors, available by phone at 834-2114.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They're open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving a full menu with breakfast available all day. They're located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.
Lou's Fish House wishes the Agates good luck. They feature smoked fish, smoked shrimp, cheeses, and hard-scooped ice cream. Visit them online at lousfishhouse.com or in person at 1319 Highway 61 in Two Harbors, or give them a call at 834-5254.
And back to the stadium for the kickoff. The game tightening up again. Will Peterson at Halsted Field, Agates versus I-Falls.
Thanks, Leo. Yeah, like we talked about in halftime, it's going to be a tight game, and it's got a lot more entertaining here. Just as many points in this half as the first, and both teams, as mentioned, playing with a little bit of swagger here to start the half. Kickoff goes to the Agates. Schlongen trying to make a spin move, and I think the Broncos are going to get this loose ball. And they do. So the Broncos capitalize on the Agates' first miscue of the game, and they're going to take over on the 48. That was Schlongen on the return, just try to get a little cute, spun away, and the helmet hit right on his elbow that he had the ball in, and just jumped out, and the Broncos will start on the Agates 38, down 2 here. So they do have a kicker. We watched earlier in the warm-ups, he was drilling kicks up to, about 30 yards was a comfortable zone. Smith there on the screen could have got hit for about a loss of 1, but he actually gained 6 as he escapes from that tackle, and it'll be a 2nd and 4. He was hitting from about consistently 25, 30 yards, but he hit about one or two out of about 4 35-yard kicks. So he does have the distance, and we'll see if the coaching staff gives him a chance from long if they get up in that situation. Handoff up the middle is Smith. Smith on the draw across the 30. Keeps moving the legs and gets down to the 27-yard line. Pickup of about 7. So the Broncos moving the ball once again. 6:41 to go in the third quarter. We're not even halfway through the quarter, and both teams have already put a touchdown on the board. Broncos looking to make it 2 here in the quarter. Handoff up the middle at Smith, and he will go nowhere. Brought down by, just in front of the 25-yard line. Short pickup of 1 for Smith. So the Agates really selling out on that draw, and that's when we've seen the Broncos go to the outside or go along with the pass. 2 safeties back again for the Agates. It's Schlongen and I believe Granmo here on the near side. Fake handoff up the middle. That fake didn't look very good as the running back didn't know where he was going, but the quarterback still gets some yards, gets down to the 21-yard line. Nope, they give it to the 20, so a pretty good spot. Pickup of 5, and it's 3rd and 4 coming up for the Broncos. Yeah, the fake still worked, but if you're at this angle, you could tell the fake really shouldn't have sold much. The running back was already at the line of scrimmage when he faked the handoff, about 2 yards in front of the quarterback, but it worked out in the Broncos' favor. They're going to pass across the middle, And they call it a catch. It looked like he might have caught it off the ground, but it's a 5-yard catch from Glowak to Ryan. Cullen Ryan again on the catch. It's a 5-yard pickup. Caught it on his knees. Tried to stretch forward, but they'll call it down. Because once you put a knee, elbow, or on the ground, play is dead in high school. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. 5 minutes, 10 seconds counting here on the clock in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle. It's going to Christensen, and he'll go nowhere once again. Gain of maybe 1. We'll see where they spot him. Started at the 20. They'll put it down to the 18, so they'll give him 2. So 2nd and 8 coming up. Inside the red zone is the Broncos, 13-yard line. And we see how effective this Broncos offense can be without turnovers. That's really what killed them in the first half and really benefited the Agates. Screen out to the near side to the right. Gets a block there. Cuts up to the 10. Shades a defender at the 5 and walks into the end zone for another Bronco touchdown is Tucker Heel. With 4:25 to go in the third quarter, the Broncos score once again. It's a 13-yard catch and run. And we'll see what the Broncos do. And yeah, they're just going to go for 2 once again, try to get it to 20. It's 14-18, trying to at least, guarantee a tie if the Agates score once again. It'll be Christensen on the run. He gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and failing to convert once again is the Broncos on the 2-point conversion. So it's 18-14 your score. Agates cough up 6 points because of the fumble on the kickoff return. We'll see if they can bounce back and get some points on the board here. It's 14-18, Broncos leading here on KTWH.
Willamette Valley Company is proud to help sponsor high school sports broadcasts on KTWH. They are currently hiring in their Two Harbors location for production technicians with competitive wages and benefits. Please call 834-3922 if interested in joining their team.
Vaness Bait and Tackle is proud to support Agate football broadcasts. They feature fishing lures and tackle made by local artists. Open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday through Friday and 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Their phone number is 834-0743.
Support for this broadcast is brought to you in part by Holden Electric, Agate Division. They are a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information. Go Agates!
And let's see if the Agates can make this high-scoring third quarter turn their way. We go back to the stadium with Will Peterson.
Yeah, thanks, Leo. We had 19 points here in the third quarter alone, and we've had about 19 points here in the third quarter and only 13 throughout the whole first half. So the game's definitely picking up here. Long kickoff. It's caught and going to be returned by the Agate. Far side now coming to the near side. Cutting up the middle. 45-50. Coming to the near side. 45-40. He is going to score! Touchdown! Two Harbors on the kickoff return. Still can't tell what number that is. Still hard to see. That looks like number 10, Kyler Pitkinen, the sophomore, on the return, about 70 yards to the house. Thought he was loose, and then a defender was chasing him down the near side all the way from the far side of the field. But Pitkinen, as we've seen this season, has a lot of speed underneath him and was able to sneak down the sideline. The Agates answer just like that, going for a 21-18 lead here. Caleb Waldron back on the point after. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and that one is no good, just pushed it right. So Agates stay up by 2 with 4:11 to go, and yeah, this quarter continues to be crazy here on KTWH. We'll send it back to the studios. We'll be right back.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They're open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving a full menu with breakfast available all day. They're located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.
Agate football on KTWH is supported by North Shore Federal Credit Union, providing nonprofit financial services along the entire North Shore with locations in Grand Portage, Grand Marais, Lutzen, Silver Bay, Two Harbors, and Duluth. They're online at northshorefcu.org and also on Facebook.
Support for Agate football coverage comes from Harbor Insurance, a local insurance agent covering business, individual, auto, home, life, and liability since 1935. Harbor Insurance is located at 613 First Avenue in Two Harbors and is available by phone at 218-834-2114.
And we go back out to the stadium to see if we can have a defensive hold on this next possession. It's time for the Agates to kick off.
Yeah, huge quarter here for both sides. Both sides with 2 touchdowns. Agates with the special teams touchdown that's obviously put them in the lead here right now. 4:11 to go here, quarter number 3. We still about 16 minutes left in this one. And if you thought this last 8 minutes was entertaining, hopefully the last 16 is just so. Caleb Waldron ready to kick off. Let's see if they go short, see if they go long. What are they going to do? This time they're going to go long. Way to the left side, and that bounces out of bounds once again. They had the right idea, trying to get the corner and see if they can jump on top of it, but a little too to the side. The deep man was just going to leave it. He had no intentions of running that far. Obviously probably knew it was going to bounce out of bounds, but he saw it was to the left and kind of just was walking there. So if the Agates could have kept that a little more in play and the bounce wouldn't have been too bad, they would have had a shot for that ball. So right idea, probably want to go a little shorter with it though. And that'll put the ball at the 35-yard line. That's where the Broncos will start as they try to get out of a deficit once again. So the only time they've led this game was when it was 6-0. Agates have led from there. Glowak out of the shotgun once again, hands it off up the middle of Smith. Smith following some blockers and gets a big pickup of 8 down to the 43-yard line. They got to get to the 45 to move the 6, and it's 2nd and 2 coming up. So Smith this half on the ground, 3 yards, 7-1-8. So he's been picking up some pretty good yardage for the Broncos today and keeping their drives going. And this one is one of the ones that's not so good. Backs him up 2 yards, gets hit at the 40 and stays there. Lost of 2 for Smith, and a big play for the Agates. That'll back him up to a 3rd and 4. Pretty long 4. Got to get just inside the 45, and they're right outside the 40. So basically got to go line to line here. 3rd, and they put 5 on the board. It's pretty long 4. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Knew it the first time we've seen a different formation for the Broncos. There's a pass again to Rain on the left side. That's a pickup of 7. So long 4, short 5, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. They pick up the first down and move the chains. This time it's going to be Glowak on the keeper again, but this time not going anywhere. Just gets back to the original line of scrimmage as he's pushed out of bounds. Agates maybe could have had him a couple yards back, but Gramo just couldn't get there. Got a hand on him, but not enough. But his teammates came to the rescue. Excuse me, that was 28. Sebastian Bart got there. Alec Chernus was there as well and got him forced out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage. So a good team tackle there for the Agates. Makes a 2nd and 10. Going to pass again. It's a screen out to the far side. And that's Rain once again on the catch. Pickup of, they'll give him 5. And that'll bring up 3rd and 5. Ball on the Agates 47-yard line. Got to get to the 42. Broncos have had a lot of success with those short screens out to the side. Those catch and runs have really hurt the Agates. This one's shorter, but still they've been damaged. Glowak with the throw and almost picked off by the Agates. He had 2 in his face. That looks like number 70, I believe, Peyton Koss, and maybe number 6, Deacon Bark on the far side. maybe that's, 76, I think. Like I said, it's sometimes hard to see these numbers. So Brady Lieball and Deacon Bark in the backfield, really not giving Glowak a lot of time to throw. And if he would have had maybe a little more time, he might have thrown a pick there, but just threw it low enough to the ground where Schlongen couldn't get there, dropped at his feet. 4 and 5 coming up. Glowak dropped back to pass, pressure in his face once again, throws it over the middle, knocked down by Clark Nelson, and there's a flag, though, late. And I think they're going to give it as a pass interference. Broncos coaching staff jumping all over the place on the other side, and I think they're going to get a holding call, a defensive holding call. I don't know if it would have affected the play. It looked like it almost happened after the ball was knocked down, but either way, I think this is going to hurt the Agates. They were going to get a turnover here very close to midfield, but they're going to give Broncos some life here, I believe. And holding, on the defense. So it is going to keep going the wrong way here for Two Harbors. And big break there for the Broncos. But, and they'll give it 5 yards from the mark. And, that is a break. I mean, I don't think the pass would have been completed either way. He threw into basically triple coverage. Clark Nelson there to knock it down. So, big break here for the Broncos. 2 receivers left and right. It's going to be a keeper here for Glowak, and he's just being very patient, trying to find some holes, and doesn't as he gets drilled by about 3 Agates. And, he didn't have much leverage either. No gain for Glowak, and he got drove to the ground by 3 Agates. So, no leverage, was standing straight up, was just trying to find a hole to run into, and just never happened. Glowak again out of the shotgun. Going to hand it off this time up the middle. It's Christensen. Christensen with a little wiggle room and shimmies his way down to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 5. So pretty decent run for Christensen. His first over 2 in about 4 or 5 carries as we get to 1:24 and counting in the third quarter. Agates lead by 2. Probably should have forced a turnover of downs at the 47, but a holding penalty that was probably deemed as unnecessary. Wouldn't have, if they would have not committed the penalty, wouldn't have turned into anything huge. And here's a big pass downfield for a touchdown for the Broncos. That's Rain once again on the reception. Nope, they, I think they're going to mark him down. Well,
what's your issue?
What are they trying to figure out what they're doing here? They're all kneeling like someone's hurt, but the guy who was hurt already walked off the field. So, but then it looked like the officials was waving his arms, like marking it down at the 4, or maybe he was just trying to stop the clock. But either way, Agates now trail by 4, 24-20. They're going for the 2-point conversion. Floated up for Christensen, that's long again, and they failed to complete a 4th straight 2-point conversion. Agates lead again by 4. Minute to go here in the third quarter. So we'll take another break. Be right back as Agates look to take the lead once again.
Yeah.
Vaness Bait and Tackle is proud to support Agate football broadcasts. They feature fishing lures and tackle made by local artists. Open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Their phone number is 834-0743.
Support for this broadcast is brought to you in part by Holden Electric Agate Division. They are a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information. Agate football is supported in part by the local guys, Mar Trucking. They offer commercial and residential garbage pickup as well as hauling. For more details and to schedule service, you may call 834-4810. Go Agates!
Non-stop scoring in this third quarter. There's still plenty of time to get one more for the Agates. We return to Will Peterson.
Thanks, Leo. Minute to go, third quarter. Agates trail by 4 once again. Last time the Broncos kicked off, it was a 70-yard touchdown return by Kyler Pitkinen, and he's back there deep once again. Agates bringing up some more reinforcement, though, not wanting to give up an onside kick, and this one's kicked to the edge. Agates a little trouble corralling it this time. They had a little hole there, but it was swallowed up quickly, and they're wrapped up and tackled at the 34-yard line. So Agates still with some decent starting field position, and they'll go from there. So 53.6 seconds to go. Probably gives the Agates enough for 2 plays here. Probably not going to be in any rush to run more than that. Nelson back under center with the double wing offense. Feels like forever since we've seen the Agates offense on the field, and Nelson's going to break one again on the quarterback keeper, 50 to the 40. Stiff arms at the 35 down to the 30, and that's where he's going to be marked down at the 28-yard line. Clark Nelson with a 39-yard run by Clark Nelson. And another big run on the keeper. His last 2 runs, 31 and 39 yards and 1 touchdown. So that play's working. As of now, he tried it a couple times early and it didn't really do a whole lot. And yeah, the last 2 it does. So 40 seconds now to go here in the quarter, and the Agates really just flipped the field position really good. They mark him down at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Edlin back in for the Agates at quarterback. This time it's flipped to Schlongen, and he's going to be stopped there just short of the 25-yard line. Nope, they put it right on the 25. That's a pickup of about 3 for Schlongen. And that should do it for quarter number 3, bringing us to the final seconds. And yeah, Agates going to walk it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 will end the 3rd quarter. So the Agates in good position here to take the lead once again. They've surrendered their first lead here in a while. We'll take a short break. Agates will have 2nd and 7 coming up on the 26-yard line, trailing by 4. You're listening to Agate football here on KTWH.
KTWH.
The Willamette Valley Company is proud to help sponsor high school sports broadcasts on KTWH. They are currently hiring in their Two Harbors location for production technicians with competitive wages and benefits. You may call 834-3922 if you're interested in joining their team.
Support for Agate football on KTWH comes from Leroy's Repair. They're located at the end of Recycle Drive, servicing your marine and auto repair needs. You may reach them at 834-0743.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They are open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving a full menu with breakfast available all day. Judy's is located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors. Well, we had an incredible 3rd quarter. Maybe we'll have an even better 4th quarter. The Agates on the move. We go back out to the stadium with Will Peterson.
Yeah, that was quite the quarter. 31 points, I believe, between the 2 teams. We're at a total of 44-13 in the first half. So 31 points and about 5 touchdowns. So yeah, quite the quarter. I don't know if we'll get another one of those, but I don't think fans would be disappointed if we did. Agates will start the final 12 minutes on the 26-yard line with the 2nd and 7 coming up. Edlin back under center. Clark Nelson still on the sideline, figuring out some leg issues. Sebastian Bark on the carry. He'll get about 2, jumping over some fallen linemen and then get hitting hard at the 24. So just a short one there for him. And now it looks like Edlin will be coming off Nelson back into the game. So good sign for him and the Agates. Seemingly not something super serious. He came off after that big run, but just had to stretch something out, maybe a cramp, maybe just fell on it wrong. Charlie Horse, something like that. 11:20 to go here, 4th quarter. Nelson to Bark to Schlongen on that little crisscross. They get about maybe 3 on that one, down to the 22. And they got to get about to the 19, 18-yard line. So forward and along 3 coming up for the Agates. Big play here. Just with, how explosive this Bronco offense has been in that last quarter. Agates not really being able to stop them much, especially on the passing game. They gotta keep the drive going here. Nelson taking it again, left side, gets to the 20, trying to dive forward, and they're not going to give it to him. They're about a yard short. Tried that quarterback keeper. Nelson, I don't think, saw someone coming from the backside, got his ankles, thought maybe you'd see him just lunge out and just dive for that once he knew he was close, and just kind of got pulled down from behind. So 10:31 to go. Agates give the ball up on the 20-yard line. So the Broncos got a long way to go, but we saw that they can do that and do that quick. Time's not an issue for them. The issue from the time side is for the Agates to see, if they go down 2 scores, it's going to be real hard for them to score with, probably score twice with like less than 6 minutes to go. And that'll be a run of about 7 for the Broncos. That was Larson on the carry. Second and 3 coming up. 2 receivers left and 2 receivers right, 1 left. 2 running backs for the Broncos. Looked like someone moved early, not going to call it. Larson on a big run again up the middle across to the 36-yard line. Pickup of about 7. You need to pick up a 9 there. And inside 10 minutes to go in the game. Run the clock once again. 2 receivers left. 2 right. Now they motion the guy back into the backfield. 2 running backs now around Glauac. Going to hand it off up the middle. A little misdirection. Christensen up the middle running hard, and he's down for 11 yards and a first down. So Broncos starting to run the ball again really well, and that's not a good sign here for Two Harbors. They're at least stopping that pretty good last quarter. It's just a pass that was getting them, and now they're close to midfield here. Only about 40 seconds gone out of this drive, and they've moved about 36 yards. Another handoff up the middle, and it's Larson just sneaking away from a tackle, but then gets wrapped up for no gain. So almost a loss of 1 there for Zach Bentler, but he gets some help for a no gainer. Christensen would have had probably at least 5, if not more, there on that run if he didn't get stopped there. I think it was Chernus to help out. Maybe Nelson, one of those 2. 2 running backs in the backfield once again, adding a little more misdirection for the Broncos. Going to pass it. It's a screen out to the right. Rain on the catch right at midfield, and he steps out at the 50, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Just a short pickup of 2 for Colin Rain. So a big play here for the Agates. Could be a big stop. Well, I don't think we've seen the Broncos punt yet tonight, so maybe they go for it here at midfield. Just, they've played pretty good defense. The only thing that's obviously been killing them is the big plays, but the Agates aren't running all over them. Normally. Here's a big pass up to the left side, and it's not, or it's right side, not going to be caught. It was Thompson, the intended receiver, but the Agates haven't been doing their normal, how they run their offense, like those 4, 5, 6 yard runs time after time again. They kind of had some shorter runs mixed in with some big ones, and obviously when they don't get the big ones, that's when they get shut down. So it's not like they're just consistently moving the chains every 2 or 3 plays. So maybe something the Broncos are going to risk on 4th, but as I say that, they bring out the punt team for the first time tonight. Agates get some pressure on, but not going to knock anyone down. Schlongen elects to just let it bounce and not take the risk. It gets the Broncos bounce and then comes back the Agates way, and they'll pick it up at the 22-yard line. That's where the Agates will have 8 minutes and 30 seconds to drive here in the final quarter, and they'd be more than happy to use all of that if not or most of it, if not all, to finish the scoring drive. You know, they don't want to give the Broncos any time, especially if they have all 3 timeouts. So 8:37 to go. Agates with their biggest drive of the game. They trail 4. And we haven't seen the Bronco kicker yet tonight, but as mentioned, they do have one, and he was warming up in the pregame. So even if the Agates go up 7, Broncos, you know, may be able to utilize that at the end to tie things up. Here's a pitch out to Schlongen. He goes far side, near side, cuts it back up the middle, and goes to about the 29-yard line. Pickup of, we'll call it 8, 2nd and 2 coming up. So good news there for the Agates. Schlongen gets moving once again. Had that run of 11 to open the quarter. Bart comes out for the Agates. Grammo back into the game. 8 minutes to go. Schlongen started out with that 11-yard run at half, and then it was 3 and 2 yards. So it's good here for the Agates to get them positive yardage, and Grammo gets just about a yard. So at least they keep it moving. It's 3rd and 1. And Bark will come back in. So just keeping that extra running back side a little fresh. Schlongen stays in most of the game with Grammo and Bark swapping in and out between plays. To see which side they go. Last time when they brought Grammo in, they went to him. Bark was in, they went to Schlongen. So we'll see if that continues. The Broncos with all 11 guys within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. They'll go to Schlongen once again. Schlongen trying to get the outside. Cuts back up the middle, though, as he had a little more room there, and he'll get enough for the first down. Very generous spot. I don't even think he got to the 34-yard line, but they give him the 35. So 5-yard run there for Schlongen, moves the chains 4 to Arbor. Nelson bringing a play back out for 2 Arbors. Minute 30 already wasted off this drive. Agates have moved the chains just once. Nelson drops under center, back in that winged offense. Really haven't changed from that much. He's going to pass, floats it up left side, looking for Schlongen, and it's caught there on the left side at the 40, thrown down at the 35, and the Agates with another big pass for 30 yards from Nelson to Schlongen, and Thompson was on the coverage and very upset he didn't come down with that punching the ground. Not sure how that felt, but probably not very good. 30 yards from 35 to 35-yard line. Flips the field for the Agates, and they're back in business with 6:30 and counting. Now the Agates can really run that offense they want, just 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, and chip this clock away. Now the Agates split it out a little wider, 1 receiver left and right. Chernus straight behind Nelson. They hand it up to the middle, and he powers it through the line. He's turning those feet across the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Nice pickup there for Alec Chernus. The Agates just putting the linemen together and just basically making the plow and just drop the linemen of High Falls and got into that second level, and Chernus was able just to follow them nicely. So good run there right up the middle for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up for 2 Arbors. Just inside the ball, just inside the 30. Got to get to the 25. Back to the tight offense. They're going to go the way of Schlongen. Schlongen cuts it up the middle, down to the 25, and that's going to be enough for the first down. They'll move the chains once again. Hard run by Schlongen. Really just hit that hole and was going for the first down markers. Not trying to set his eyes too far. And they're not even going to measure that. They're going to just assume it's a 3rd down. And it might be just short, but if it is, it's just inches. So 3rd and like 6 inches for 2 Arbors with 5:15 to go. They're really letting the clock wind down, and it's kind of like, hey, if we don't score, we're just going to end. It's just going to end the game kind of thing. They don't want to give High Falls too much time to work with. Flip to Sebastian Bark. He gets across the 35 to the 20, 10, 5, diving for the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, 2 Arbors. So they just say, enough with your theories, Wolves. We're just going to punch it in now and get up with 5 minutes to go. So 26-24 to Harbor. Sebastian Bark, his second touchdown of the year. About 25-yard dash all the way out to the left side. Just got inside that pylon. And Sebastian Bark above 60 yards on his night. Helped with a couple yards of 25 plus. They bring out Waldron in the kicking game. Only missed one here so far tonight. And they bobble that snap. And Broncos going to pick it up. They might be able to bring this the other way. And nope, they're going to blow it dead. So I guess they don't have the NFL rules here. And but yeah, they don't have the college and NFL rules in here, so they just blow it dead. You can't bring it back for two. That was something they changed in the college and NFL a couple years ago, but thought it applied to high school too. But either way, Agates benefit from it. They're up 2 with 5 minutes to go. Got to shut down the offense of the Broncos when we return.
North Shore Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Agate football on KTWH, providing nonprofit financial services along the entire North Shore with locations in Grand Portage, Grand Marais, Lutsen, Silver Bay, 2 Harbors, and Duluth. They're online at northshorefcu.org and also on Facebook.
Support for this game is brought to you in part by Holden Electric, Agate Division. They're a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
Lou's Fish House is proud to sponsor football on KTWH. They feature smoked fish, smoked shrimp, cheeses, and hard-scooped ice cream. Visit them online at lousfishhouse.com or in person at 1319 Highway 61 in 2 Harbors, or give them a call at 834-5254.
Well, the Agates have just taken the lead, but they've left some time on the clock. We'll see how their defense holds as they kick off to the Broncos. Take it away, Will Peterson.
Yeah, we'll see what 2 Harbors does here. I know my theories are usually wrong, but I like to talk about them anyways. I'd imagine they're just going to kick deep so they don't give the Broncos much field position. This one's kicked deep. The ball's loose. They haven't been able to get it, and then they finally just dive on it. The Agates were only 5 yards away from getting that, but it's number 10 just getting there is Tucker Heel, and just dives on it to keep it in the favor of the Broncos. So good kick there by Waldron. It gets down at the 25. So the Broncos 75 yards in 5 minutes is what they got to do, and we all know they're very capable of that. We'll see if the Agates defense can stand tall like they did most of the game, minus the third quarter. But both teams, were very offensive heavy in the third quarter. So handoff, going right side, and just a short pickup there, maybe 3 yards for, that's I think number 34 for the Broncos. That's Larson on the carry, and he's been a pretty consistent runner here for them, about 4, 5, 6 yards every time out. Big, powerful running back. Another handoff his way. He cuts it up the middle, has a hole, has one guy to beat, but he can't, and he's hit hard by Schlongen at the 42-yard line. Pickup of 16 for Larson. That's his longest of the night so far, and just in timely fashion for the Broncos. 4:22 to go, and they start the clock back up. Chains get set, and they'll start it right now. Agates in a dogfight here with 4 minutes to go on their home turf. Well, now they're in dangerous territory on not making that point after. If the Broncos do decide to go for a field goal, that could win them the game as the clock strikes inside 4 minutes, and a no-gainer there for Larson. And he's grabbing at a knee, and they're going to stop the clock, and he grabs his face mask in frustration and pain as he holds that left knee of his after a no-yard gain as he continues to sit down, but now pops back up as the trainers come out on the field, and now he kind of walks off with a little, I don't know what you call it, but a little bit of just frustration walk, if you will. Inside 4 minutes, it's 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. Agates still using 2 safeties. Got away from it for a little bit when they're getting beat on the draws, but now back. They're just saying we're not going to get beat by the pass tonight. 2 receivers left and right for them, with the running back right out to the quarterback's left. He has a lot of room. Across the 50 to the 45, gets hit hard and tackled at the 40-yard line. Pickup of 18 for Smith, his longest of the day. First run in double digits, and he flips the field easily for the Broncos. Now on the Agates 40, and the Broncos, again, like we've seen all night, are driving. They just got to keep the ball in their own hands. That's been their Achilles heel so far. Christensen motions to the other side of Glowak. Two receivers left and right. Glowak going to keep it himself, trying to get the edge, and does. Cuts back up the middle and able to just keep pushing and pushing, and he gets 5 yards down to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 5 coming up for Glowak. Now we hit 3 minutes to go, 3:07 and counting. Ball at the 35-yard line. Broncos still have all 3 timeouts, so do the Agates. 2 receivers left and right for Glowak. Christensen on his right hip. Only 5 linemen down for the Broncos. Agates got 9 in the box and 2 safeties deep. Glowak going to take it himself, looking for a lane. He finds the edge, cuts it up, and gets hit at the 40, at the 33, and gains about 2. Be 3rd and manageable here for the Broncos. And we'll see how they play it. Not looking like they're trying to take a ton of shots, kind of like what the Agates were doing at the beginning of that drive before Bark busted off a big run. Really just trying to wind the clock down so they kind of have that last chance. Like mentioned, they do have a kicker, but haven't used it all night, so are you going to put them in the pressure situation? 2 receivers right, 1 left, 2 running backs in the backfield. High snap, but they hand it off to Larson. Larson across the 30 for the first down to the 25 and tackled there. And they'll stop the clock to move the chains as we hit 2:30 to go. And Larson with a 7-yard run. And another player down. And I think this time it's for the Agates. And I think that's senior Jacob Keach, a little slow to get up, but able to jog off the field. All right, maybe that's 24. I think that's 24. Well, we don't have a 24, so yeah, it is 84. So it is Keach, the senior, that comes off inside. 2:30 to go. He had a couple brothers playing this program as well. Both of them playing college football, one at UMD, one at UND. So good football and athletic blood there for him. Hopefully we can see him back on the field soon. He's getting looked at now, and hopefully it's not too bad. 2 minutes to go. You know, you never want to see anyone get hurt, especially a senior, but you don't want to miss any more time than, you know, they already have. You know, it's such a weird time for all high school athletes, but especially seniors who have seen so much of their, you know, anticipated high school lives disappear in this crazy year, as Larson runs down for 13 yards inside the 10. Inside 2 minutes to go, 1:44 to go. They hustle the line. At the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. Handoff goes to Larson. Larson driving to the goal line. Arms go up for a touchdown, and the Agates go down, at least for now, by 4, 30 to 26. But they have been left with a decent amount of time, all 3 timeouts, so nothing to panic about yet. But, you know, the clock is definitely not your friend here. You know, it's not impossible, but you got to be efficient. So we'll see what the Broncos can do here. Haven't scored on a 2-point conversion all night, and they're trying for number 5 right here. 0 for 4 so far. Glowak out of the shotgun. 1 running back to his side. He goes to the flat right away, looking to pass across the middle. Another incompletion, so it stays a 4-point game. 30 to 26, a minute 34 to go. Agates need a big drive here. Hopefully it can be set up by the kick return. Coming your way in 30 seconds. We'll step aside, and we'll be right back for the final. Minute 30.
Agate football is supported in part by the local guys, Maher Trucking. They offer commercial and residential garbage pickup as well as hauling. For more details and to schedule service, you may call 834-4810. Go Agates!
Willamette Valley Company is proud to help sponsor high school sports broadcasts on KTWH. They are currently hiring in their Two Harbors location for production technicians with competitive wages and benefits. Please call 834-3922 if interested in joining their team. Support for Agate football coverage comes from Harbor Insurance, a local insurance agent covering business, individuals, auto, home, and liability since 1935. Harbor Insurance is located at 613 First Avenue in Two Harbors, available by phone at 834-2114.
And now right back to the stadium, Will Peterson for all the next minute and a half of action.
Thanks, Leo, and just want to check with you if we're bound to get some timeouts throughout this. Do you want to keep the messages coming, or are we going to keep it here for the last minute 30, which will probably end up being like 15 minutes? All right, so we'll get about another one round here of messages, and a huge kick all the way down to the 10. It's picked up right there. Agates trying to get some better field position here, and they're not going to all the way down to the 13-yard line. So booming kick. We haven't seen that all night, and the Agates were set up at the 25 and had to run about 15 yards back just to get set up. So not really how you want this to start out with 90 ticks left to go. We'll see what Coach Nelson can draw up here for his team. You know, the one advantage they have is that in high school you get a first down, the clock stops until the chains get set. So the Agates can maybe use that to their advantage to not burn so many timeouts. If they can, you know, get a first down, have everyone sprint to the line and just get a playoff right away. So Nelson trying to lead his Agate team on its 87-yard drive to win this thing, starting on their own 13-yard line. Nelson going to take it himself, plowing it up the middle, across the 20 and down there. And there's a injured player back there for the Broncos. He's really grabbing at that right leg. Looks maybe like a cramp. He's holding that back of the leg. And this benefits the Agates here clockwise. Yeah, never want to see a player obviously get hurt, but as mentioned, clockwise, this will help the Agates out just a little bit. And it looks like he's all right, just getting it stretched out, nothing super serious, we hope. And looks like both teams are, well, at least the Broncos are going to clear the field. Injured player still down, just getting stretched out by the trainer. Agates get the water cart out. We'll send it back to Leo here real quick as they tend to this injury.
Support for Agate football on KTWH comes from Leroy's Repair. They're located at the end of Recycle Drive, servicing your marine and auto repair needs. You may reach them at 834-0743.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They are open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving a full menu with breakfast available all day. Judy's is located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.
Agate football on KTWH is supported by North Shore Federal Credit Union, providing non-profit financial services along the entire North Shore with locations in Grand Portage, Grand Marais, Lutzen, Silver Bay, Two Harbors, and Duluth. They're online at northshorefcu.org and also on Facebook.
And let's return to Agate football in the last minute or so of play. Take back to Will Peterson. We'll keep it with Will.
Thanks, Leo. So out of the timeout break, Agates get a first down here. Grammo with the 4-yard carry. Agates got to get going. The clock's going to start here shortly. Minute 11 to go, and here's the clock. They're starting to go now. Grammo with the 4-yard pickup on that reverse play. Agates get back to the line and hustle. Minute to go. They're at their own 24-yard line. Nelson back to pass, looking up for Schlongen. Has some separation. He catches it at the 50 and he's out of bounds. That's going to stop the clock at 52-6. Agates get a huge break there as that goes out of bounds, and they get a free timeout and a huge chunk of yardage there from Clark Nelson to Eli Schlongen. That connection's been there all night, and that's a 28-yard catch by Schlongen. That's 80 yards through the air for those two just tonight, and Schlongen's added a ton on the ground as well. From the 50-yard line, they're going to go outside to Schlongen, and he gets hit. Broncos read that like a book, and they're going to stop the clock at 46-6 as the Agates go back a ton. And we'll take another break. Agates got 50 seconds to go, 50 yards here on KTWH.
Support for this broadcast is brought to you in part by Holden Electric Agate Division. They are a proud sponsor of Agate football for 20 years. They service commercial as well as residential and can be reached at 218-834-9226 for more information.
You are listening to Two Harbors High School Agate football on KTWH 99.5 FM, ktwh.org online. We're going back to Will Peterson for the remaining seconds of this game.
Thanks, Leo. Yeah, 46-6 to go. Ball on the 47-yard line of the Agates. They, if they get to a point where they are going to be able to just chuck it into the end zone a couple times, Roger-like Hail Mary, they probably need to get at least 15 yards, get to the 40. Nelson might be able to step into one from there, but here's Nelson going to pass on first down, floats it up in the middle. It's intercepted, but there is a flag out on the field. Hopefully it'll go the Agates' way here. There is a flag. Broncos acting like it's over, but we got to wait to see what the flag is going to do, because that could be, and it's on the Agates, so this one's going to be over. So it pretty much is all but over. Agates get 2 timeouts to try to strip something, or we'll see if the Broncos just kneel it down, but Nelson just floated it up, and I think with 2 timeouts left and 40 seconds, the Agates got to make sure he knows you can get, you can just throw it away. Just stop the clock and don't force anything yet, because still got a lot of time. So we'll see if the Agates can get one more miscue from the Broncos. But it is all in the Broncos' favor right now. Really, only way they can lose is if they, shoot themselves in the foot like they did the whole second quarter. They remain up by 4, though. Two Harbors would have to get a touchdown. And, you see it more in the NFL than you do in high school. Is this situation, they just take a couple knees, but at least in high school, you see people run it a little more. When they have timeouts left. If they didn't have timeouts, you just see the knee come out. But we'll see what the Broncos want to do here. Will they just try to kneel it 3 times? The third one obviously would run the clock out. Maybe they'll run it, which would give the Agates a little more chance of success. Well, they line up in a punt formation. Never seen this. Are they just going to kneel from the punt formation? Or they... Oh, never mind. There's quarterback back there. So they do get the shotgun. And kneel it from the shotgun. So they'll back up 5 every time. I don't know why the Agates aren't rushing it, just in case there's a missed snap. And I think that's what they're talking about here. Agates bring out the defensive team, at least from the coaching staff side, and say, hey, you got to at least rush the edge in case the snap is mishandled. They just kind of all stood there. So 35-5 to go. Agates have at least one more timeout. I have a Bronco miscue, so 2 more chances for a mess up here, but they've been pretty solid, at least from the snap standpoint tonight. So 2nd and 15. And this time the Agates bull rushed the defense, and rightfully so, with 32 to go and no timeouts now for the Agates. 3rd and 10. You know, if they would have had one more, it would have just been nice enough to at least try to get the ball back, but you have to burn one on the offensive side after that negative run and right before the interception. So we'll see if they can get lucky here. You know, that's what they need right now. But hey, if they do, now they can take 4 shots in the end zone. They're close enough if they get the ball to be right about the 20-yard line. You just got to be careful not to get down inside, you know, play. You just have to really hustle the line and spike something. And this time they shotgun it, get a clean snap, kneel it down, and that's going to be the game as the clock winds down from 20 on. So the Agates drop a heartbreaker. It was all in the 3rd quarter, back and forth and back and forth. 31 points in that quarter, a couple more in the 4th, and the Broncos knock off the Agates. And that's what we said earlier. It's going to be a close one. You know, they were playing good this year. You know, maybe scores don't show it all the time, but, you know, in this weird of a year, you know, you never know who's gone for certain games or whatever. So Agates played it tough, though, and I'm sure these teams might match up at some point in the playoffs, and I think the Agates, you know, will be ready again for that one and hopefully can win then, and that's when it matters. So, you know, they got a good taste of competition. They really haven't had it since their first game in Virginia. A couple big score victories their last few times out. They're just their last one out. They had a good competition against Greenway and Virginia, so got back into the mix of things. Every game they've played in this year has been within 1 score, except for that last one out against Eveleth. And this Bronco team played Mesabi East close last their 2nd game of the year. So next week should be another good game for the Agates. So hopefully they can get one more win in the win column before heading to the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, the good news is it was a really hard-fought game. You know, the defense played well. You know, they took advantages of a lot of mistakes, but you know, right away the Agates didn't turn that into a lot of points, and that's what kept the Broncos in it. Even though their offense was really good, they just kind of kept their heads above water. You know, and Broncos got the points when they needed them. So, but nonetheless, a really good game by both sides, and you know, very playoff type atmosphere. And I hope these two teams can play again come late November, because it was a fun atmosphere and really good game. So till next week, it'll be Wednesday, 5 o'clock in Mesabi East. We'll have that one on the air for you. Leo, I already talked to Mesabi East. We got a spot in the booth, so we don't have to worry about midweek changes. So we have a spot reserved in the press box for us and for our equipment, and we will be ready at about 4:50-ish to bring you this game live on our KTWH airwaves in about 5 days, I think, right? Today's Friday, in 5 days.
Degrees colder, so I'm glad we've got you in that press box, and we'll see if the Agates can win one more to gain a home field, secure a home field in that playoff. Will?
Yeah, I'd love to play I Falls again, just not there. It'd be a long drive.
Indeed, I think we'd all like to keep it here. So, big game for the Agates at Mesabi East. So we'll be ready for you next Wednesday, Will. So until then, thanks so much for bringing us this incredibly tight game. One defensive stop short of a victory. Next week we start fresh.
Yeah, for sure. So it should be another good one next week, and yeah, Agates just let this one slip by 4 points, but it was a very entertaining game throughout. So.
All right, Will, we will catch you on Wednesday, November 11th, 4:50 pregame show, we hope. So we'll see you then. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Will Peterson with the call of the action. A really tight game. The whole second half was back and forth. 30-26, the International Falls Broncos defeat the Two Harbors High School football Agates here on KTWH. We'll be joining Special Topics in Indian New Wave in just a few minutes, and we're going to hear a couple of messages from our supportive underwriting businesses in Greater Two Harbors, making Agate football possible on KTWH.
Vaness Bait and Tackle is proud to support Agate football broadcasts. They feature fishing lures and tackle made by local artists. Open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday through Friday and 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Their phone number is 834-0743.
Judy's Cafe is pleased to support local football on KTWH. They are open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. and Sundays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Serving a full menu and breakfast is available all day. Located at 623 7th Avenue in Two Harbors.